Hello, friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Secret Stories. Once, the ship suffered an unfortunate end, and everyone on board, aside from one man, died in the ocean. He miraculously made it through and washed up on the shores of Dasila, Thailand, by the grace of God. When he opened his eyes and became cognizant again, he found himself alone on the lonely island. The man immediately began to pray to God, asking for help. Days went by with no aid showing up. He slept on the beach every night. He prayed to God once more the next day, but nothing changed. After a few days went by in this way, the man had completely given up and accepted his fate as a castaway. He started gathering grass and wood to build a shelter for himself out of things that were salvaged from the disaster. He lived in his improvised hut and subsisted on fish and coconuts from the island. He unintentionally burned his shelter on fire one day while preparing food. Shaken by the loss of his one and only haven, he glared up at the sky and bailed out, asking God why his pleas for assistance had gone unanswered. There, he had constructed a home, and it was now gone. He believed that God was unkind. Feeling discouraged, he kept nagging God all night long until he finally nodded off on the sand. He was startled awake in the morning by a loud noise. He opened his eyes to find a ship had come. He was in disbelief when he saw that help had arrived at last. After he got on board, the ship sailed. When he boarded, the man questioned the captain about how they found out he was stuck on the uninhabited island. In response, the captain said that they had observed a signal fire that was coming from the island and that it was a sign that someone was there. The man maintained that there was no signal fire that he had sent. They had arrived in reaction to the fire signal, the captain clarified. The man remembered his burning shelter at that moment. It dawned on him that his smoldering shelter was the fire signal the captain was talking to. He realized that his shelter's burning was part of God's plan to save him from the abandoned island. He started to give thanks to God when he saw that his plan was not as important as God's. Examining our own life, we will discover that although we frequently make plans, things don't always turn out the way we had hoped. With the knowledge we now possess, we attempt to make sense of our experiences. When problems occur, our hope wanes, our patience wanes, and our faith falters. We begin to gripe to God. But during these times, we ought to make an effort to surmount our challenges by holding fast to our faith in God. God has a purpose and a plan for each and every one of us in a world where there are more than 7 billion people. We must not give up on our efforts and maintain our confidence in the Almighty. With God's blessings and our own efforts, we can get through any obstacle. Consequently, always keep in mind that God may have a different plan for you, and that plan is always greater, bolder, and better than your own. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.